Hello, I'm here with this absolutely wonderful lady. We're 3 months out?
Yes.
3 months out from her rhinoplasty, and we're always very honored. This wonderful woman is a physician, a wonderful physician here in the Pittsburgh area. And we had some interesting conversation before we went back for the rhinoplasty. This is some months ago. You, as we were just discussing, you have Lebanese background. Here we all have, I certainly have our own background. And she was very articulate about what she wanted to achieve, but that also she wanted to maintain her ethnic sort of identity. So let her talk a bit about that, about what her goals were and what she looked for when she was selecting a physician, and of course how she feels about this early result. Again, we're only 3 months in. We'll do an update further down the road, but we still think it's valuable for you to hear this stuff. So tell us, what were your goals and why did you select us?
I had a hump like on top of my nose. That is probably a very common thing in the Middle East. And I hated it since I was a teenager, like growing up and even in my 20s. But I was always very apprehensive about doing my nose because I did not want to change my face. And everywhere that I was looking around, a rhinoplasty means changing everything, like the nose, the tip, the nostrils, and every time I tried myself to like edit pictures and change a little bit about my nose, I was horrified. So I was very apprehensive at doing this. But then at the same time, I could not look at my profile pictures anymore.
Yeah.
Every time anybody takes a picture of me, I'm like, okay, don't post this because I can't see it.
Yeah.
So then I started looking at how to reduce the hump without changing the nose, and I started researching online that there are plastic surgeons that are just facial plastic surgeons, and there are plastic surgeons that are expert at ethnic noses. And then I came across your website whenever I was researching facial plastic surgeons and plastic surgeons that do ethnic noses. And I started looking at your website, looking at pictures, and then I came for a consultation. And I was very honest with you that I did not want to change anything about my nose, especially my front appearance. And I want to reduce my hump, and my goal was a very natural look, Lebanese still look, and that most of the people that know me would still know me, especially my kids. I said to you, I'm in my 40s right now, and I don't want my kids to wake up and oh my God, that's not my mother.
There you go. And I hope they don't say anything like that.
No, they don't. They can't even recognize that I did much to my face.
Right. All of that is just music to my ears. And, listen, like I said, we are both physicians, and when you're in medicine, you recognize that everybody's trying their best. But sometimes, right, whether it's in your specialty or mine, some things, unfortunately, sometimes don't go according to plan. You mentioned that you had perhaps some friends here in the United States, but also some back home in Lebanon, maybe a relative or a friend or something who had 3 rhinoplasties. We see this coming into our practice, people where the first time, devastatingly, it didn't work out at all as they hoped. It didn't just not improve it, it's actually moved the ball in the wrong direction. And then they're coming to us to see if we can help. That might have been what delayed you a bit because you were talking to some people that it really kind of went poorly.
I have a friend that had 3 rhinoplasties. The first one was not good and her nose collapsed, and then she had revisions and they all went not great. And now her nose is very deformed. And I have 2 cousins that also didn't go well. And I was always very scared. What if I'm one of those that doesn't really work out? Then what?
We are strong believers in the best time to achieve success is the first time. The tissues are in their natural condition. And whether it's doing a rhinoplasty or a facelift, our patients know that we take a little bit extra time in the operating room, but we're not doing this to twiddle our thumbs or look up at the ceiling or something like this. We're doing this because we are really sweating the details. We're not rushing through. And that's how we also conduct our consults. We want to communicate with our patients, and we want to share a bit about who we are, and honestly just give the appropriate amount of care and love to this process that it deserves, because let's not be confused about it. We are changing the shape of people's faces. Rushing through it is not the way to do it. Any other thoughts before we let you go?
I was very prepared before the surgery with you. You told me exactly what to expect. The whole care before and after, and even you giving me time to process everything and to let you know if I decide to go through it, and even like seeing you again and you going through it again with me and kind of confirming that yes, you don't want to change the appearance of your tip and this is the goal and we're going to reduce the hump, like made me very comfortable going through surgery. People asked me the day of my surgery, am I nervous? And I said no. And they were like, are you sure you're not nervous? And I said, I'm absolutely very comfortable. Even the day that I saw you during surgery before I went in, I told you that I am confident that you know what I want. And if you go into the surgery and you felt that you cannot achieve reducing the hump without really changing a little bit about my tip, then I would give you like the permission to do that. I knew from my conversation with you that you're gonna try to achieve the best thing possible for my face. And I'm not a plastic surgeon. I can tell you what I want, but it may not be achievable. And you were very honest with me as to what the things that you can achieve. And I'm very, very happy.
That's great. Boy, that's beautifully articulated. And I sort of remember that now. You came in, your husband is a physician as well?
Yes.
And so this is two physicians coming. And, I remember we had, the usual very detailed consult. But I think, these two wonderful physicians wanted to discuss it again. And quite honestly, I'm that guy. I'm the guy who, if there's something of gravity in life, some significant thing, I want to be sure. And so I really appreciate you reminding me of that. Because it does demonstrate. It's not like, they're coming back, to rehash this stuff? Again, we're manipulating the appearance of somebody's face, and this is a duly appropriate dedication of our time and our energy in order to communicate with the patient beforehand, do the surgery properly the first time, take all the post-operative care. So anyway, that's a long conversation we had about that. I appreciate your time so much, and we'll keep up with you in the future.
Well, thank you so much.
You bet.